For yourself, Ian, on the technology side, boy, we've had to rely more on our technology vendors as an industry than we've ever had in the past. So I'd love to hear from both you guys of what your kind of current norm is. Stephen, I'll start with you.
Yeah. So it's been really interesting for me kind of seeing everything that's gone on over the past probably 4 to 6 weeks, right? I've jumped on a lot of industry calls. And it's been fascinating to watch everybody tout about how we're changing the world. And I'm like, I've been doing this for a long time and we've delivered cars to people for a long time. Like this isn't that different. But the things that I think people are jumping into, right? Like home delivery, will come grab your car, sound really good and are good. And I think when we get through this, our space is going to be so much better than before, just because we've had to and make these changes. But I think the little things that people go, okay, great, we're going to do this. You got to think kind of through, and especially like on the service side, how are you making cars safe for people, right? Like, yeah, it's one thing to say, I'm going to come bring your car back, but 3 techs have worked on it. The porter drove it. Like, how am I protecting the consumer and messaging that? Like, you're probably doing that. And what I've seen on a lot of these calls that I've been on is people talking about that, what services they're using, how they're doing it, and then messaging in that. And I think that's going to be important during this time too. It's not only are we doing the things that we probably should have been doing, like I'll use a name that is not very good in our space that people don't like, the Carvanas of the world, right? Like
You can use it. I
everybody,
think there's
right?
nothing wrong with
Everybody
it.
could do that and has done that. And I delivered cars at home. But thinking, okay, well, how do I message what's unique about us and what's different about Bob Smith Chevy delivering a car to you than some big corporation somewhere else or whatever that is, and then walking that through. And like I said, for me on the service side, the fixed ops side, and our business does not do anything with the consumer side of the world. We just connect dealers to fix recalls that they have in their used inventory. But even just being on a lot of the calls that I've seen, people thinking about how do we do this differently. And again, for me, like I said, I started probably not the best time in the world, but like it's cool for me too to see dealers connecting. Like we get such a bad rap in our space, and that's one thing that drives me crazy is how some of it's deserved, right? But the dealer space, and it's been cool to see everybody just kind of like, how do we help each other?